Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're taking a look at the 2022 Lincoln Aviator. This color is so nice on this car. It's so cool. It's not a white, it's like an off-white almost. It's actually a plug-in hybrid electric. You can see by the blue Aviator logo, that's how you know. And the whole side profile of the car is actually supposed to be look like the side of a plane wing. I'm not sure if I can see that. You also have these 22-inch wheels that are supposed to look like engine turbines. I don't know. I think they do. When they're moving, they probably do a lot more. You also have your massive brakes. This car can stop on a dime. Let's move around to the back too. You have a nice trunk that's of course automatic. Press one button here, especially at this price point. It's around $88,000. So at this price point, you really do want to have the best. And you can see the suspension in the lowering. I don't know if you can see it in the POV shot here, but you can definitely see it outside of the vehicle. Climbing into the back is actually super nice and easy. Now the car is not on, but usually when the car is on, you have this nice screen here where you can choose. You can have a comm display. You can change the audio. These seats, the one right here and the one I'm sitting in, is ventilated and cooled, which is really nice. You have some nice plugs down here where you can actually plug a 10 volt to 10 volt 150 watt, and then you can have your USB-C and normal USB. Lots of storage, really comfortable. I fit no problem. However, there is a third row in this car that you can see here. I'm not even going to try to get into it because it's a little bit hard to get into, and I think it's more or less meant for kids, not so much adults. My feet my legs are in my chest when I actually try to sit back there. So not the greatest thing in the world. So you also have storage here. The ambient lighting, it looks so nice at night. You can change it all from the infotainment system. So this version of the vehicle actually has 494 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque, which you do feel when you press that gas pedal. It's also got a V6 3-liter engine, and it's a 10-speed transmission as well. So super nice. It drives so well. It's such a nice car to drive in. And speaking of driving, let's do that. Let's do exactly that. Let's take this car on the road. All right, so taking the 2022 Lincoln Aviator on a quick little road test here. So I don't know if it's picking it up, but I do have a heads-up display right there that shows me the speed limit, gas, and what time it is, also what temperature it is. It's been quite warm lately. It's really nice weather to have, actually. So this car comes with a 10.1-inch LCD display, which is right here. A lot of the settings, sound control, everything like that, it's all controlled right from the infotainment, which is nice. But there also is a lot of physical buttons too, which I enjoyed quite a bit. They're very easy to use, high quality, as you'd expect from a car in this price point. Like Lincoln is it's such a nice car to drive. It actually has active air suspension, like I mentioned, where the trunk will lower for me to let me put my things into, but it'll also change with my drive modes. You have different drive modes, like your sport mode, your excite mode. That is the sport mode name. And then you have your normal mode, and you also have different slip modes, so the ride height will increase and the drive will be different. It is an all-wheel drive car, so the winter driving would be quite simple in this car, I think. Like I said in the PRN video that we've just done, you'd have to be extraordinarily dumb to get this car stuck in the winter. It's so heavy. It's got four-wheel drive. There's no way. I just don't see you getting stuck. I think you would unstick other people, if anything. Now, there is a lot of body roll when you take tight turns and stuff like that, but nothing that bothers you. It is planted. It does have a little bit of understeer, but again, like I said, you're not really buying this car to be the absolute most pointed and sporty car that you can afford. It's really the luxury. It's really, you have a daily commute, and since it has an electric motor that can do 35 kilometers in a single charge, you know, it's pretty usable. I mean, I haven't really had much issues charging or even taking the battery. I haven't stopped at the gas station once during filming, and I drive these cars quite a bit when I get a hold of them, so that's really nice. So yeah, talking about that electric driving, you don't really notice the engine kick in. It does when you give it power, like a lot of power, then there's a slight delay, the turbo spools up, and then bang, you're on engine. But you don't really notice it just in general normal driving. I really didn't notice it like at all. You get used to it. Like at first you're like, oh, I see the engine's on, but then after a while it's just so seamless and nice. This car is just nice. Like There's nice wood. There is a little bit of piano black, which, we don't like that so much, but, for the price, I'll take it. It does do a really good job at splitting everything up on the interior as well. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but I can actually go into the settings of the infotainment system, and these two little side buttons, it's not very bright in the daytime, but they do light up, and actually they change the way that if I click left now, it'll go back. But if I go back and I click left, it's actually going to activate the music. So that's really cool to have. It's just a lot of these nice little features that this car has that makes it such a nice, enjoyable thing to drive. You can adjust these seats that I'm sitting in about 30 different ways. The possibilities seem endless. They also have, they're also cooled, ventilated, just like in the rear. In the front too, they're also cooled and ventilated. The front two, driver's seat and passenger seat, actually have massage capabilities. It's insane. These massage capabilities, I don't like to use it because when I'm driving, it's not the best thing in the world. It's actually quite distracting, but if you're sitting waiting for somebody and you want to get a quick massage, and then it works. And a lot of the passengers that I've driven in this car love the massage feature. They think it's very nice. The ambient lighting also looks very, very nice at nighttime. I really enjoyed taking a look at all that. There's different colors. You can't put it on any color, but you can adjust the brightness and stuff like that. But yeah, charging this vehicle as well has been quite easy, actually. I haven't had any issues at all, where I'm using this standard wall plug because I own a gas car. These press cars that get given to me are sometimes electric, and I just use the wall plug that's actually included with the car. And so it takes about 12 hours to charge from 0 to full, which is a little bit on the slow side, but again, you're using a normal 10 volt outlet. I'm not expecting speeds that are crazy. However, though, if you do have a wall home charger, well, then it actually will charge in 3.5 hours. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it is good. I mean, you get home, you charge, you go to work. If you're lucky enough, then you'll be able to charge as well. So there's actually no issues there. So I'm just going to do a little silent driving part where it's just going to be the POV part until I get to the end of this little nice stretch of road here. So just enjoy that while we do it. Something a little strange that's been happening is, I don't know if you just saw that, but it actually just went off and told me that my front sensor is blocked. It's been telling me that every single time I drive the car, so I haven't actually been able to use the adaptive cruise control, which does come with this car. I actually haven't been able to use any of that stuff because the front sensor is blocked. I've looked where I think the front sensors are, and I don't see an obstruction. So sometimes with these press cars, you can get like a pre-release vehicle, and it's not always going to have best things in it, and I think it's a software glitch or possibly a hardware glitch with this one, so it's just something to note. Thinking about other driver assisted programs, well, you also have the different drive modes, the different seat modes. Like we mentioned, there's so many ways you can customize these seats, but you also have your lane keep assist, which is very gentle. It's not aggressive like some cars where if you're out of the lane, it absolutely takes the wheel right out of your hands and just throws you right back in the lane. And it's really smooth. Everything about this car is smooth. Everything about this car is seamless and easy, and I really don't have that many bad things to say about it. The only thing I didn't like very much is the fact that it doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay. It has wired. You can plug your stuff in and then it'll work, but I just feel like in this price point, wireless Apple CarPlay would be great to have. Also, it would be nice to have the battery go a little bit longer. Just a bit more range never hurts, right? But besides that, there's really not a lot of bad you can say, which is great because at this price point, you don't want to have a lot of bad. You want to have more good than bad all the time, and especially when you're paying like almost $90,000 to $100,000, depending on your tax rate and all that stuff. Like, that's a lot of money for and there's not a lot of people that can really afford that. But if you can, I would definitely spring for the hybrid version of the car, because it does save you money there in gas and stuff like that. So it's much better to have, in my opinion. There's actually this nice little button. I don't know if you can see on the camera. It is plastic, but it's fine. It's right on the steering wheel. And when I press it, I can either, if my Bluetooth is not on or if I'm not connected to Apple CarPlay, well, I can talk to the car using it. It doesn't allow me to summon Matthew McConaughey or anything like that. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't care about that at all. But it will allow you to use the voice commands that are built into the car, and it will allow you to use Siri when you're connected to Apple CarPlay, which I found super, super nice and enjoyable. And it's super easy to use. One click, you can change a song. You can say if you want a specific song, or if you want Siri to make a memo of anything like that. It's actually been very useful for me. I've actually clicked it. I didn't think I would use it at all, but I've actually clicked it so many times. Almost every time in the car, I found myself reaching for this button. It's very nice. It does have sequential shifters, paddle shifters, in the rear of the steering wheel, but the shifting is quite slow, so it's almost not even worth mentioning it. And yeah, I don't think you're going to be doing it unless you're towing or doing something like that, or trying to get unstuck. Then you're going to select gears, but other than that, really not going to be using that in the car at all. So it's almost a non-existent point to make. But it does have rain sensing windshield wipers. It actually hasn't rained at all. It's super nice here. It's November and it's like 22 degrees outside. Can you believe that? It's absolutely insane, but it hasn't rained. It might rain tomorrow, but unfortunately I don't film on a Sunday. I only film on Saturdays, so it is what it is. I haven't seen them activate yet. When I did need to use the windshield wipers, whether it was to clean or whatever, I would turn the stock down like this, and you can see they're on, right? But there's no indication anywhere that they're on or what level they're wiping at. So I actually had no idea when I do need to use them when it does rain. I'm not going to have any idea what's going on. This car also does have the illumination package, I believe, which looks super cool at night. I wish the camera that I'm using right now doesn't do very good night shots. Everything's kind of fuzzy and glowy, so it's not great. So I can't really get any good night shots with the GoPro that I have, but eventually I will get one that can shoot at nighttime, because you guys have to see these cars at nighttime. It's really cool. I'll include some shots of it though. Other than that, like I said, there's not much to say. It's such a comfortable car. If you ever have the chance to test drive one, or even look at one, pass by your local dealer, take a look at one, because they're such nice cars. Like I said, I haven't been able to drive a Mercedes or an Audi or anything like that yet. I'm sure I will, but so I can't tell you what they compare like. I can't tell you that the Lincoln is better than those, because I don't know yet. But what I can say is Lincoln has set that bar so high. Incredibly high, in fact. So when it does compare, when I do come time to drive those cars, it's going to have to compare very well. Otherwise, I probably won't like them as much, if I'm being honest. But anyways, with that being said, I think that's going to do it for today's quick tour and little POV drive. Let me know what kind of cars you want to see. Let me know if you're in the market for one of these vehicles in the comments. I will reply to every single comment I get. And make sure you subscribe if you want to see more. It encourages me every time I see a subscriber. It's, I'm not a big channel yet, but I intend to be, and I intend to be as big as we could possibly be. I want to drive these cars, as many cars as I can, for as many people as I can, so that when you go and you make your decision, because the car is a really big decision, when you go and make that decision, I want to be able to help you out with that. I want to be able to give you the most advice and give you a good look at how the car drives while you're just on normal roads like I am. So with that being said, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments again what you think. I love to hear your feedback. I love to hear, whether it's bad feedback, good feedback, I love to hear it. I love interacting with you guys. You guys are all awesome. So thank you so much to every single person who's clicked that subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me, and I take this position very seriously. The fact that I have these press cards is an absolute massive opportunity for me. So again, thanks so much for watching. To all of those who continue to watch, and if you're new here, subscribe for more. There's only more to come. It's only going to go up from here. So thanks so much for watching again, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.